Today I want to help us explore what actually happens when we stop running from ourselves, meaning that the monkey mind is busy trying to avoid a lot of conflicts or friction in our lives. And in the process, it actually prevents us from experiencing the courageous and resilient person that we already are. So let me explain. Imagine that on whatever level you're having some kind of friction. It could be at work, it could be at home. The partner says something that appears that you're a disappointment by saying, why can't you do your share around the house? Or maybe at work, you turn in a project and the project was denied, it wasn't accepted. The monkey mind then generates a story, and from that story, we actually attach meaning to who we are. And in the process, we're disconnecting from the experience itself, from the emotions that we're having. We're not meeting those emotions. But here's what happens when we become courageous enough to actually move towards this emotion that we're having. The first layer is that we discovered that there's the emotion about the story that we're making up. If I believe that the story the monkey mind is telling me that my partner is controlling, then the emotion I'm having is irritation and anger. And that is based on the story. But there's a deeper emotion, and this is the emotion we want to teach ourselves to get to, which is getting to the place where we can actually acknowledge something truer about ourselves. Oh, I'm actually afraid that I'm not doing enough when my partner says that. And not just that I'm not doing enough, but then I'm actually attaching the meaning that I am not enough. And that's very painful. Here's the thing. When we develop the ability to actually meet ourselves there, something else exists there, because this experience actually lives in the present moment. And in that moment, when we actually accept this emotion, what starts happening is that the mind that's so overwhelming, this monkey mind that dominates, starts to calm down. And why does it calm down? Because now we've reached the presence at the nervous system level. We've actually reached the root cause of what was creating this anxiety. And when we're there, something else exists that we can tap into, which is the person that's been there all along. Just think for a moment of all the things that you overcame in your life. Maybe it was a relationship that didn't work out, or a job, or maybe it was a childhood that was very difficult and then you were moved from household to household. Maybe it was the first time that you failed a course in college. If you actually took an inventory of all the ways that you are actually resilient and courageous, things you overcame, and also things that maybe sometimes it was about telling the truth to someone that you were terrified how they were going to respond, but you did it anyway. This person who has already been resilient and courageous for all these years exists in the here and now. And the act of actually accessing the emotion that's present, of this feeling of not fully being okay, but bringing presence to it, is actually an act of courage. It's reflecting the resilience that lives in you. This is what can be activated in the moment that you become present with your experience. And those two can coexist, and for most of us, it's something that's very foreign to us. Imagine what I'm saying here is that the deep emotion that you're having, where those emotions come from questioning our own sense of validity, but when we move towards that emotion and we start connecting with it, something else exists in the same place, in the same present moment. And that's the resilient and beautifully courageous and valuable human being that you are. And here's what's different about this approach is that we live it, we experience it. It's not a thinking. I don't think, oh, I get it, now I'm resilient. That's not it. I experience the resiliency because I'm actually in the process of attending and attuning to my own experience, and that act is very courageous. It's really life-transforming and life-giving for us to begin to build a different kind of relationship with our monkey mind. It's instead of following it and instead of subscribing to everything it says to us and believing what it's actually telling us, that we begin to notice that it attached meaning about who we are. That's key. This is it. This is what can be so life transformative, is pay attention. Pay attention. Ask yourself, anytime there's friction, pause, take a breath, and notice, and ask yourself, what meaning is my monkey mind attributing to me about this situation? How is it perceiving me? And then feel the pain, notice how it's creating a very painful experience, and then trust that experience, welcome it, accept it, and then find the resilient, courageous person that you are. Thank you for spending this time with me. This podcast is meant to be more than just information. If there's one thing I've learned over the years, is that we are wired for connection. And if we are to learn the skills of living beyond this monkey mind that can be so overwhelming, it's best to do it together. And for that purpose, we've created groups. We call them pods, and we name them Aviv la Vie, which means live life to the fullest. Come and join us.